Hi guys, it's me Karin, and we've come to do part 3 of this picture here. We're going to be doing the flowers, the leaves, the little markings on her arm, which I'm going to make into a kind of grayscale tattoo, and then we'll be doing the background. I've decided I'd go ahead and do a blue background, so I think that will pop all the colors that we have out here a little bit better. So the flowers are all going to be done in blue tones. Leaves are going to be done in two different colors of green. So I'll pick like one, the little round leaves here will all be one color, but the ones that come out like a little spray of leaves, those will be done in a different color. Those colors will follow down here onto her arm, and then we'll get working on the arm piece. So, color for the flowers are going to be, I have to pick the colors I can't pronounce. So, Indanthrone blue, something like that, 208, and of course the sky blue light, which is my favorite. I have to buy a whole set of these. 1086. When I find a pencil that I absolutely love it in these sets, I usually buy a pack of 12 of them. So I have them always on hand. It's nice that you can do that when you have a pencil set that you can buy, single pieces of instead of a whole new set. Okay, the small, short little leaves, I'll get those pencils out first, are going to be done in just these two. So dark green 908 and pale sage 1089. Then when we do the spray type ones, we're going to bring in, take out Artichoke 1098 and the pale sage. And in between those, I may put a little bit of the Kelp green, which is 1090 in. I'm not sure if I'll put it in the golder ones or the darker green ones, but I have those out. I also have a black, which is 935, which will do any highlighting or deepening of tones on any of the leaves. So I'll leave that in that pile. Now I have my flower pile, and then I have to do the kind of grayscaling here on her tattoo. I have all warm grays. So there is, let me get these in order here, a little bit easier for me. Okay, we have warm gray at 90%, which is 1058. Warm gray in 50%, 1054. 20%, 1051, and 10%, 1050. I may take out the 20% and just use the 90, 50, and 10. Depends on if I need this one or not. So those are the pencils. They will be listed down below along with all the colors that we used on her already. So what I'm going to do is move the camera down and pick probably the top headband up here, and we will get started on that. Okay, I'm going to start with some of the leaves. So we're going to go in with the dark green first, and we're just going to lay some color down on the edge up here. And just kind of lightly bring it in. We're also going to bring it up. Leaving a space in the center, and we'll do a couple of these. I hope you're all doing well. I got out yesterday, and in the nice beautiful weather that we're having for this week. It's kind of unusual to get a week up as warm as it's been, but hey, I am not going to complain. So I got to go out in the garden and I edged my, what do you call it? That's the sidewalk in the back. I was pretty proud of myself. I got it done pretty good and pretty fast. I got a new tool. So I went out and did that yesterday along with just a light weeding in the blueberries. We put down a nice mulch on it last year, and that kept all the weeds from growing, so that was really nice. Okay, that color I just put down was the pale sage, and then I'm going to go in with the dark green. Just darken up some areas here. It's always a good day for me if I get to get out in the garden, so I always have fun doing that. So I'm getting the backyard done first. I mean, since I have so much time to do nothing else. And then I'll get out in the front yard. We have a lot of, excuse me, people that do a lot of walking around here. And they still do it, so I kind of like to stay farther away from them. You're out in the front yard and yeah, working away and people stop and talk, and I prefer during this time not to do that. 6 feet away, that's fine, but I hate saying it to people. So I needed a sip of tea. These are, let's see, I think I already dusted them. Gonna add a little black in there just to darken up the little area down here. Sorry, I had to move it. We're going to darken the line on this. Something like that. These are really tiny. The little spray thing here, we're going to go in with the artichoke. Boom, number. It's not gonna. There we go. And then we'll bring in the same pale sage and just bring that color out. And then if you want to make it darker, just bring in the artichoke again. And if you want to, you can bring a little black on that too, just to darken in some areas. Okay, so that's how that one's going to be done. And then we'll do a couple of these flowers. I'm going to start off with the Indanthrone blue, 208. Pull it out from the center, leaving some white on there somewhere. They're small. Okay, then we're going to bring in the sky blue light. We're just going to carry that color out and then lightly bring it out there. Okay, then if you want it darker, take the color back in there and add in some darker lines. And the center of the flower, we're just going to keep it in blue. So we're just going to darken one section of it. And pull in the light. And smush those together. You can put little dots of black in there if you want to give it a kind of that center fuzzy feeling. You can also bring in some white if you want to lighten that up a little bit. I have to sharpen that. So if you think it's not light enough on the edges, you just bring in some white and lighten that up a little bit. Okay. Now there are a few different kinds of flowers up here, so they're all going to be done just a bit different. So like this one will just have a little blue down here. Pretty sure that's a flower too. And then we'll just bring it up with the sky blue. And if you like, you can throw a little white in there. You don't have to use the white if you don't like or don't want to. I like it. And I do have a big box of it, so I'll be using it. This is like a little rose. We're going to do a blue rose here. I said all these flowers are going to be done in blue, so. Just my preference today. All right. What other kind of flower do we have here? I kind of have this buttercup thing, so I'll do that one too. So you get the hint, they're all done the same way. Indanthrone blue first. You could use indigo if you have that instead of the other one. You could use, if you don't want to use the sky blue light, you could just use the white to mix those two colors, because it will do that. Okay, so see, that's how we're going across. All those flowers will be done and all the leaves will be done like that. Same with down here, flowers will be done, leaves will be done. We're going to work on her arm piece here. Got a lot to do on the video, so I've never done this before. This is a whole page of I've never done this before. So we're just having fun. We're going to start off with the 90% warm beige. So we're just going to darken up the areas that are dark. You can just go over exactly where you see the brown scaling the darkest. Okay, you can go over the lines, because when you get tattooed, I do not believe they tattoo in brown. I mean, they may. This is a brown warm gray, so I don't have any tattoos. I just thought this would be kind of fun. Just going over the lines that are there already. Hopefully you can see all this. This will either turn out or it won't, but I mean, it'll look good. We can make it look good, right? On her arm, because it goes around, I kind of want it darker down here. So I'll bring that up darker on what I call the curve of her arm. This would be the highest point, and then it gets rounded to the other side, so we want to darken that side a little bit more. Not a whole lot, but enough to give her some shape to her arm so it's not flat. Okay, I'm going to come in with the warm gray 50%. go over the lighter brown colors that are here. Okay, we're going to bring in the 20%. Just going over those lines again, bringing it the color out a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to bring in the lightest color, and that is the 10%. So I'm kind of putting on a medium to heavy pressure here to blend all these colors together. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, we're just gonna add some more color into these leaves here. Okay, then we're going to bring in some white. I need to dust that, don't scrape it. Okay, the camera is picking up a lot of shine on this paper. Sorry about that. Just going to use the white to highlight and blend a little. Oops. That out of the way. Okay. This is one crumbly. Because it crumbled the first time, it's going to continue to crumble. I should just resharpen it. Okay, that is what we have so far. Now I'm going to bring in a little bit of a skin tone here. And I'll do it with the pastels because I don't have a pencil out on my desk for it, and I have the pastels here. So, let us see. Where's my little tool here? I'll see if I can use this one. Try to get the blue out of it. So we're just going to use the same skin colors as we had for the basic skin tone here. And I'm just going to kind of brush it in there because, well, your skin is going to show through the tattoo if they do a grayscale, I would assume. So I want some of that skin color to go in there. And remember, when we use the pastels, we can erase with an eraser if this gets too, or on anything we don't want it on. So don't freak out. There we go. I'm kind of liking that. All right. This is just a big sponge. I'm just using it to rub off any of the extra chalk, I guess. There we go. So I'll get you up and you can take a look at that. I like that effect a lot. Okay, so we're just going to finish doing the blue flowers and the leaves, and I will come back and show you what those all look like done. And then we'll get a background going. So like I said, we'll just do the leaves the same. The leaves that look like this are going to be done in the same tone as this one, and the little leaves are going to be done like that, and all flowers are going to be done in the blue. So I will see you in a little bit. Okay, the flowers are done on the headband, and what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of pan pastel up here. It's the same color I used at the bottom of her hair. It's the, I really have to look at it. I think it's called the bright yellow-green shade. And I'm just going to add it in on some of these leaves up here, just kind of dabbing it in. Kind of brightens them up a little bit. But it also brings the color that was down. I can't tell if that's a portion of that or not. It brings up the color that I did her hair down here in, so it just brightens this up a little bit. Just kind of tapping it in, like at the base of the foliage, I guess. We're also going to do that down here on her wrist before I start coloring, so I'm just going to take it and dab it in some of these leaves and some of these, I'm not sure what they are, buds, just to give me a base on these. Those are going to be blue flowers. And that just brings up the color that we put down in here. And then we will bring in some of the dark green. Just kind of go over it in some areas that it needs to be shadowed. There's a bud there. These leaves aren't going to be quite as detailed as the ones above. We have a lot of vines going through here, so I think we'll make those more of the star of the show. And we're just going to put some color on these because they're small, tiny, but they need to be green. And this is just like a shadow on the green that's already down. Okay, then we'll bring in the blue. And on these buds, I'm just going to put in the skylight blue on the tips and bring that down. I'm not exactly sure what these are, but that's how they're going to go, with a little bit of blue in them. Okay. And then we're going to bring the artichoke and bring that in as the brown vein color. Pushing it to make it darker and then using it light to lighten it up. Okay, and then the blue flowers are going to be done the same up at the top. Just add in the Indanthrone blue. Put a little on the tip of these buds too. We'll blend that in a minute. And then I'm just going to take the white here and blend that out. Nope, forgot a whole flower. Whoops. Wouldn't be good, would it? Okay. I'll use the white to bring the blue tips down. I'll use that white just to pull some of that green down here too. Okay. Now on the upper one, we used upper flowers up here, we used a little black. So I'm going to go ahead and try to find the black on my desk. Where is it? Do the same thing. So I just kind of went around the little circle and pulled out some of these. Maybe went over the lines of the petals a little bit more. Just to give them a little more definition. Okay. I didn't get this little teeny bud here. All right. So basically that's how that looks. And I'm going to raise the camera and we're going to do a background. I'm going to do it in blue. But I'm thinking I might want to try it in the pastels instead of inking it, because I don't know how good it's going to go over the pink hair. So hold on a second. Okay, so this is the light blue I thought I would use. I probably should put a different top on this or something. I don't know. Let's see. I gotta reach into a drawer. I have a little bit of green on this one, a little booty part, so I thought I would put on a new one. Come on, out, out. The cat hears his crinkling and thinks I'm giving him a treat, so he'll be running in here meowing pretty soon. Okay, nice clean one, and it just slides right back onto the tool. I mean, it does. It just takes a while to get it there. Okay. Wiggle it around and then it'll flatten out. Okay, so we're going to take some of this, which is kind of a nice bright blue. We're going to put it on the sponge here, just because I have no idea how this is going to work. I do have, I don't know how well these come out. There we go. This is a blender, colorless blender, so I can put some of that in there and make it a little smoother for me. Okay, we're just going to attempt this. Put a little in here, and I'm pretty sure that we can erase this right off the hair as long as I'm not too heavy-handed on the eraser. I guess it kind of goes in blue like that. Okay. I don't know about the sponge thing. I'm just gonna keep this here and rub that right in there. Try to get it nice and smooth out here. Then we'll add a little of the colorless blender and just pull it out into nothing out here on the side. And if you want, you can darken it with another color. What do we got here? That's a phthalo blue tint. I have ultramarine blue shade and phthalo blue shade, so we'll just darken it with the phthalo blue shade. We'll see how dark that is. Weeks. If we want it a little darker in there. And like I said, I'm not going to freak out because I can erase it. I love this blender. I would recommend anybody who wants to use these things to get one of these colorless blender things. Okay, kind of pull some of that off. You should probably get out the other tool that's a little more detailed. You can see this, right? I'm really hoping you can. I only got one shot at this, so. And then, of course, the colorless blender to blend it all out here. It's going to go over the hair and everything. A little more here. Not looking too bad. Do a little of this on the other side. I don't know how far down I want to bring it. I'll bring the lighter one down. Maybe I'll bring some purple. I got a little purple up there too. Who knows? I'm being creative, having fun. So we'll go with the lightest color here first. I'll have to take this down and spray it too. Some of that darker color in here. And blend it out. We took it down a little ways, so we'll take it down here. And then just use the colorless blender. And pull it out a little bit. And we'll put a little in down here, just a light color. And the blender. I know that's covering up the hair, but remember, we can remove it. Boom. All right, dust off the excess, which I tend to get a lot of. Put that over there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Let us get an eraser. If you have one of those putty erasers, it's probably a lot easier to do than what I do. I don't have them. So I'm just going to take this and lightly go over the areas I don't want any of that blue. Or if I think I got too much blue, like in her hair here. On any of these flowers up here. Just want to go lightly. You don't want to erase your pencil. I've got so many coats of workable fixative on this. I don't know if I could erase the pencil if I tried, but okay. We want to make sure our duster here doesn't have too much blue on it. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty cool. Okay, the colors I used go with at least this pencil. Let's see. I used that one. I kind of tested them out here. The sky blue light matches the lightest blue. Indigo was a really good choice, but my indigo is so tiny I didn't want to use that one. That's why we used the Indanthrone blue. And the Mediterranean blue works really well with that medium dark color. So I'm going to get that pencil out and kind of darken up some of these little areas that I didn't get too dark. So I will be right back. All right, so we have the Meridian, which is a 1022. And I'm just going to see how this works here. If we darken just in here very lightly on top of the pan pastel. And that works pretty good. Just a light pressure to this, and we're just going to deepen some of these areas up a little bit. And then you can bring in the sky blue light and just bring it down a little bit more if you want. Blend it right into the lightest color there. Just light pressure on this too. So anywhere you want to enhance the color. I do this with Distress ink too, so and if you need to, if you get it too dark, just come in with some white, lighten it up a little. Like that. Now, before we go and do anything wicked and wild with our spray again, if you wanted to make this splotchier, I should say, put some circles on it or whatever you want to do, you could do that now. Just take like one of these little guys, plop it down and get it this one doesn't work terribly well, but you can just use it as an eraser too and erase a section. Lift, Karin, lift. You can erase a section out. Probably use a different eraser. What have I got in here? There we go. This is just a regular eraser. And we'll do one over on this side. Okay. And you can get a cute little effect that way. Probably look a little bit better if you were using an electric eraser, or if you had a little bit more of the pan pastel down. on the paper, but you get the gist. I'll work on it a little bit. So you really don't need to have the tool there. You can just go in and erase. Just gives it a different look here. And say you want a dot somewhere and you don't have enough color, just pick some up, put some on there. A little more color, say over here, because I want a dot there. So I'll put a little color there, and I think I want a dot down here, and I'll throw a little more, since I haven't used the fixative. We can do that. Add the color in, throw in a dot. Give it kind of a softer look in the background. Maybe I don't want complete circles. Maybe I just want to lighten it up a little bit here and there. You can do that too. Have fun. No, I'm going to be playing with that kind of background for a while. It's just kind of like the Distress ink, except for you have a little more control, I guess. I mean, I like my Distress ink, but it kind of gives it a nice little splattered look. Use that to wipe it off. Put a little more color up here. And erase it a little bit. Fun. Okay. I think I'm going to call her done. My daughter did come out and look at the picture and said, "Mom, I don't think you finished her arm piece. It should have some more color to it." But I kind of like it like that, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to darken the vine over here a little bit with a little green. This is the kelp green that I'm putting down. Just because I didn't think it looked quite bright enough. Okay, this was fun, and I learned some new stuff. Lighten that up with the eraser. I don't like how dark I got that. Yeah, have fun. Okay, I've got to spray it, and then I will take a picture of it. I might add a little bit more darkness around her eyes just to highlight her eyelashes a little bit more. But other than that, we are finished. So I will spray this, and then I'll take a picture and leave it at the end of the video. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I always have fun doing these neat new things I've never tried before. So I hope you enjoy following along on the journey. I hope you all take care and have a great day. Bye now.